Fansproject is one of those companies that I still think is held in high regard, and that's mainly because of its early outings as a third-party company. The main thing that it did was enhance old Chug figures and even make new ones, but its original outing was the City Commander. This is the Shadow Commander armor, a repaint of that outing, and oh my gosh, does it look good. The original purpose of this was to take Classics Magnus and turn it into a real Ultra Magnus while still keeping a nice, concise look. You can see here it really does complement the Classics Prime mold shown here with my knockoff Nemesis Prime. I really like the way the Perfect Effect kit fills in that kind of blank space at the front, and even from the back you can see how clean this thing is. While it's not perfect, it really does look good, and if you haven't experienced a City Commander armor in person, it's definitely worth picking up. I don't remember if Shadow Commander explicitly was like a convention exclusive of some kind or whatever, but I do know the figure it was meant to go with, which is Comic-Con Nemesis Prime here, was a Comic-Con exclusive. So this was a pretty niche item that did end up getting bootlegged and whatnot for the obvious knockoff Nemesis Primes that existed at the time. It also ended up getting its own upgrade kits with the Perfect Effect little extra weapons thing, and then it also had the Shadow Decimator, Shadow Warrior, Shadow Paladin, something like that, which were like two little Frenzy and Rumble guns that went with this. But yeah, no, this, even after it's been, so 2008, so it's been, 15 years? This thing still looks really, really good, and it still feels really good. This one was basically brand new, it seems. It was still in the packaging. It looks like maybe it was opened once or twice, and that was it. I don't think it had ever been transformed before I got my hands on it. And yeah, it's extremely clean. It rolls pretty well. There's not a lot to talk about in trailer mode. These can come down, but there's no real room to store anything back there. You also might be noticing that there's some very obvious dust on this thing. Again, this thing was in storage for God knows how long before I picked it up. So I can show this off next to another Fansproject trailer, because when I got this, I also got Fansproject Protector. So you can see that these guys, if I turn them sideways here, they're a little bit smaller. Protector's a little bit smaller, but they do kind of work in scale with each other. So if you had the City Commander or Powered Commander, this would look pretty good next to your Protector. Or is it Shadow Protector is the other one? Or Dark Protector, whatever the other, the BotCon Shattered Glass version of this was. Transforming Shadow Commander is an event. You take this nice compact rectangular trailer and turn it into many, many little pieces. From all the little clicks that happen when you're separating it to the little flips and folds that you have to do. You can see here the top half comes off and the middle section slides out, separating into 3 distinct sections. The legs fold up and open up in an amazing way. And then the arms separate from the shoulders here, with small little flips on the shoulder pads to enhance the final robot mode. The arms actually have quite a few panels you have to move and remove from each other, since they're connected also to the torso chunk, but everything's nice and meaty. Keeping up with that theme, the head flip is so satisfying, sliding it out of the torso and popping it out. Now, with this pile of parts, it may not look like much, but once we throw it on top of the Nemesis Prime that we got from San Diego Comic-Con, we have something truly spectacular. Robot mode on this guy is amazing. He still has all the posability from his original form and has 5mm ports, so he can still use all his original weapons. He also looks fantastic standing next to Classics Prime in case you do get the Ultra Magnus version. This guy gains a ton of articulation as well, from ankle tilts to wrist swivels to a ball jointed head. He really, really does look good. And you know me, I truly am a sucker for a good face plated helmet, especially on this evil looking Ultra Magnus.
It helps that he has a giant fuck-all cannon, too, that turns into an even bigger giant fuck-all missile launcher. It's so crazy, and I absolutely love it.
First off, a couple things about this guy. One, this guy is quite big and chunky. He is very, very chunky. Secondly, this waist piece really likes to fall off, and I'm going to do articulation, so we're going to take it off. It literally just frictions on. It doesn't actually... Unless I'm doing something wrong, it doesn't actually like clip on, which is very unfortunate. And the last thing I want to mention is this backpack section right here. This is actually from Perfect Effect, and it basically does exactly what you're seeing. It just clips this onto his back, which is the big doofy rocket missile launcher cannon thing. But yeah, it also gives him some 5mm ports on the back. But yeah, I'm gonna rip his accessories away from him. And let's talk articulation about this guy. So his arms can, if you don't have the Perfect Effect set, so if we remove that, the arms still go back pretty far. They go, like moving his elbow straight, they move that far. The elbows still bend pretty well. You can get a pretty okay bend out of them, so, you know, there they are kind of straight. Get less than a 90, but still pretty good. The head is on a ball joint. It is a kind of restricted ball joint, but you can also kind of wiggle it up because it's just tabbed on there to get a little bit higher and a little bit lower. So you can do that. The arms don't move out very much. Like, I mean, in relation, when you put them all the way down, they move out pretty far, I would say, but not nearly as much as they used to. You can kind of get these out of the way to get a little bit more range on there. But yeah, the arms still swivel, that's unimpeded. The waist swivel is generally unimpeded. It does have that armor on there, so if you do have the waist armor, it kind of shuts that off. The legs, the hips are also unimpeded, and the knees are also unimpeded. So still gets 90 degrees at the knees, still has the swivel there, and he gains a little bit of an ankle tilt. Just a little one, just enough to kind of make it worth bringing up. Something I learned is that if you want to store the big dumb cannon on his back, you want to come around to the back where he has these ankle pieces and just bring them out a little bit. And that's going to help him keep his balance when he has the Perfect Effect backpack on. Which that just slides on. And tabs in. You can straighten out his legs. Bring the backpack back. Make sure the chest armor is on there. That's something else. I didn't realize how flimsy the City Commander chest armor was until I had this one in hand. And I don't know if it's just because I'm using a knockoff Nemesis Prime as the base figure or what, but yeah, pretty strange. There we go. But yeah, there's articulation on Shadow Commander.
And that's really it for Shadow Commander. Here he is standing next to Ultra Magnus and the other Fansproject armor I have, the red Parallax armor. And then here he is with Comic-Con Nemesis Prime, the actual figure that's supposed to be in there. And then Scourge, kind of the next closest thing. But yeah, this guy looks amazing. There's not really much else I can say about it. I really enjoy the City Commander armor, and I understand now why it was so hyped up as it was back when it first came out in like 2008. If you guys haven't picked up a City Commander armor or you're thinking about it, I definitely recommend it. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. Let me know if you have this in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. This has been Bots Obsession.